Hello and welcome. Now, good morning. It's another feel-good edition of the finest breakfast show on terrestrial TV. In fact, online too. We're streaming. A big shout out to our e-community this morning. By this time on Tuesday, we assume that everyone has gotten into the flow of things for the week.
What's the time? I don't think so. Not everyone. Past 7.
Yes.
Some days are past 7.
What?
I'm still booting. I've never booted.
Are you sure? Some
World.
people are already in the office.
Yeah, some, but not everybody, yeah? But hey, come on. Of course, the Monday blues are done. This is Tuesday. It's known as the most productive day of the week. Hence, we're happy, excited, and energized for a wonderful time with you.
And it's going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be a beautiful show. In the studio here, we look up with this glee, with this positive energy, and we appreciate those little things. We appreciate sunshine.
What do I say when I look up?
The birds. What? We appreciate the fresh air, you know? Just a lot to appreciate, especially if you're alive and well.
That's it. And then we'll sprinkle that splash of sunshine in your face this Tuesday morning and ensure that we make it more productive for you. Of course, Mary, it's been a while. It's been a while, but Mary's back in the house.
Hey.
Lady, yo! What's
so
good?
Good to see you.
What's good? What's good?
This
What's
your
good?
shirt, I don't know, it makes you look like a pilot, and I'm so in love with your haircut. I'm amazed by it.
Mary, just something now, but let's just leave
Have you
that now.
noticed the new Banky W vibe with the beard?
See, it looks a whole lot
makes so
better
much
than that,
sense.
and I'm not kidding, Mike.
It's
This
lovely.
look is amazing on you.
So how many people entered your DM last week?
There must have been many, I'm sure.
Anyways, of course, it's great to have you, Mary. It's great to have you. Now, of
Thank
course,
you.
we're here to take you, to help you take that step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Of course, making the right choice. Remember, you can be part of the show online, like you had mentioned. My name is Mike Mesikeno.
And I'm Titi Layo Onyinson. Just make sure you use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC across all social media platforms to be a part of the best breakfast show on TV.
Okay, now let's get straight to it, to what we have today. There's quite a lot. Yeah, let's get to the highlights of what we have today.
So Tuesday is all about, we always have health on Tuesdays. And we've been having quite a bit. But before we tell them what's happening, we have to have them download our app, Google Play Store or iOS. Please download this app and follow us across all social media so that you can be a part of the show throughout. Yeah?
All right, let's get straight to it now. Health is what we start today. We'll be discussing addiction, getting help with Dr. Tiwa Tayo Lashibikon.
Yeah.
And then we have
Parenting.
Parenting is up next, of course. And
Olabisi Oni is going to be joining us on parenting today. And it's all about making sure that we have all those tips we need to be the best parent possible. Topic is homeschooling.
And then, of course, Solomon Uyemi, popularly known as KSolo, will be with us in the house. He's a friend of the house. He's been here a number of times. It's always good catching up with him. We're talking about what's been happening in his life and, of course, the entertainment and music production scene.
It'll be nice to see KSolo, though. Really nice to see him.
It's been a while. You know, the fact that he's a musician.
Yeah.
Today is International Strange Music Day.
Strange music.
And I actually have a problem with the word strange.
What's strange
Just
music?
because it's not music you're used to.
It's strange. It's okay. It's cool to say
I don't
strange.
really like
strange,
that,
so
because
it's you could say it's subjective. So it's strange to you doesn't mean it's strange
doesn't mean it's strange
to
to
me.
me.
So you try to make it subjective to yourself. So strange music for you. If today you listen to that music, maybe it might be Irish folklore style of music. It might be country music to some people.
Or
Yeah,
Australian
my
banjo
issue-
music.
My issue with it is the use of the word strange, because
okay.
I don't know, it
I
just
know, I
seems
get what you
weird.
mean, Shara.
Because like 40, 50 years ago, for example, Afro-beats wasn't really a thing.
Yeah.
And now it's no longer something nobody knows about. So would you still regard it as strange music? I don't know.
To some people, when you say strange, it's just something you're not
Used to.
something you're not conversant with.
Or
so it's
connected
just
with all.
Exactly.
Something you don't even know about, so to speak.
So, but music plays a very important role. For a lot of people don't know that music as a whole, to have a if you talk to very intelligent people, I'm talking about people like the people. If you try to get into their mind, music is one way that you can expand your mind.
Yes.
There are actually so many uses for music. I've heard people say playing classical music while pregnant makes a child very intelligent.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
I don't know about that one, and I don't have.
So there is something called Baby Einstein and Baby Orchestra.
Okay.
So they play all sorts of instruments for young babies now.
For young babies.
So from age 3 months to 6 months, there's an age. And then from 6 months to 1 year, there's like different music for them. Apparently, it makes them more alert.
The complicated sounds.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure it out. And so you're working their brain already. That's why I heard is what actually happens.
We all need some form of music, classical music.
So hopefully the music you're hearing today won't be rainfall. We'll be taking the weather at this point. Stay with us. Hello, and it's time for a news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria, and we start this way. My name is Titilayo Oyinson. The National Industrial Court of Nigeria has ordered the striking members of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors to resume work immediately. The order was made following an ex parte motion filed last Friday by the Federal Ministry of Health. The motion sought for an order of interlocutory injunction restraining members of NARD from further continuing the industrial action they embarked upon on the 2nd of August 2021. Ruling on the motion, the presiding judge, Judge J.I. Tagema, ordered all members of NARD to resume work immediately and adjourned the matter until the 15th of September 2021. In his reaction, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, described the court ruling as a welcome development. He reassured the affected doctors that the ruling would not prevent the implementation of agreements contained in the Memorandum of Understanding reached at the last meeting with the Nigerian Medical Association and affiliate associations with timelines affixed to them. The NMA had led 3 doctors' associations to the negotiation that lasted several hours on Friday after a series of negotiations between the government and the doctors had failed. A Rivers State High Court has issued an interim injunction restraining Uche Secondus from parading himself as the national chairman and member of the People's Democratic Party. Justice Gbasam of the Degema Judicial Division Vacation Court, sitting in Port Harcourt, granted the order on Monday. The court order also restrains him from presiding over any meeting of the PDP or calling for any ward, local government or state congresses of the party, as well as setting up committees for such congresses. He is also barred from participating in any activity of the party or whilst on suspension as a member of the party, pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice for interlocutory injunction.
Thank you for staying tuned. It's time for us to check out the headlines in the newspaper. And this morning, we will begin with the Vanguard newspaper. Now, the Vanguard newspaper has this: strike, doctors adamant as federal government hails court order. Court orders doctors, federal government to suspend hostilities till September 15. We haven't been served any court order, and that's coming from NARD, the NARD president, rather, says strike goes on. Court order, welcome developments, and that's coming from the federal government, says court's ruling will not affect implementation of MOU. NMA berates the FMOH rather, over face-off with doctors, says 21 days of strike for Nigeria unacceptable. Notes going to court on part of government hasty. Dialogue with NARD now. Ojebelu charges federal government. Now, still on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, our dealings with partners transparent, and that's coming from NLNG. The photo story here shows 15 Bethel students released after 46 days in captivity. Down here, something about lockdown. Army warns, desist or face the law. And finally, Tambuwal says, on the state of the nation, Nigeria needs right leadership to tackle insecurity. Now, these and more stories you can find in the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Moving from the Vanguard newspaper now, we'll head straight to the Punch newspaper. And the Punch newspaper has this to say: Petroleum Industry Act loopholes. 36 states set up 6-member panel, plan amendments. Committee members, Delta, Osun, Imo, Plateau, Borno, Jigawa, finance commissioners. States governments to forward proposed amendments to PIA Implementation Committee. Oil price jumps to $68 after days of losses. Discos beg customers as blackouts worsens on grid collapse. Up here, we see anchor borrowers. CBN incurs 379 billion naira debt. Farmers battle insecurity. And we see federal government has to defer on delayed 30 billion naira revitalization fund. And finally, Lagos artisan allegedly beat 7-year-old son to death over fish. Now, these and more stories you can catch in the Punch newspaper this morning. So many stories, so many newspapers. Right now, however, we're heading straight for fitness.
All right. It's Tuesday, like joke. August is almost done. Like, I'm just looking at the way the months are flying by.
You should go.
You should go, right?
2020.
Really
2021.
What have you achieved so far, Mary?
2021. We're in 2021.
We cancelled last year now.
Wow.
Is it okay if you had the choice to take off 1 year legally from your age? Wouldn't you be happy?
Do you know someone actually celebrated his birthday this year? Minus 1 year.
Really?
It says last year never happened.
Oh, wow.
Jokes apart.
It didn't happen.
Well, yeah, but I know there were a lot of learnings from last year.
Okay, out loud. We still call it Euro 2020.
Yeah.
It happened this year. The Olympics.
Yeah, it was 2020.
It's Tokyo 2020.
2020, not 2021.
Talking about the Olympics, the 100-meter women champion, it was Ellen Thompson, of course, Ellen Thompson, Hera of Jamaica, who was the 100-meter women champion. Yeah. She made news again just this past weekend. Okay. Now, Sha'Carri Richardson was spoken about here.
She wasn't allowed to.
A marijuana positive test for marijuana, and she wasn't allowed to compete. So there was the Prefontaine Classic, which happened over the weekend, and it was billed to be her comeback, and she made some noise about it. And she, of course, it was worth making the noise. You know, she said this was her comeback and everything. But interestingly, she came in last. And it was a Jamaican sweep. First, second, third, Jamaicans. This is a country that's not up to 10 million. First of all, by the way. So when it comes to athletics, you know that they really invested in it and all of that. Sure. But the issue now, is there a problem coming last? I mean, we've seen champions who have fallen back.
Yes.
In fact, every champion has had one point on the
setback,
where they've had a setback and they had to come back. But the backlash, because she had made so much noise about it, the backlash was massive. And then people go, you're not supposed to be supporting black women. The person I want to say black woman. So it's not the case of black against black against white and all of that. No, you understand? So it brings to mind talking and doing. You know, I saw this video of a lady who said she spoke being an Olympian into reality.
Okay.
Wow. So she would always come, I want to be an Olympian and all that. So what she put up was her talking. But of course, she didn't put what she did to make that happen. And then at the end, you see how she becomes an Olympian. Yeah. So talking, does it just stop at talking?
So you kind of
walk the walk after you've
talked the talk.
You've talked the talk.
The issue now is she is still a fantastic athlete.
Okay, so
she came in last.
On TV now.
Means that she didn't break any records. She didn't come ahead of some other athletes. It didn't mean that she did not run the race. She still ran the race. It's just that it depends on the angle she came from. Was it an angle of arrogance that she was? Was she being boastful? Yeah. Or was she being positive?
You see,
because she's a role model for so many people.
Someone said something that if you're going to be good at, there's always a bit of arrogance and confidence.
Of course.
And it's quite
there
true.
has to be.
It's quite true. And there's nothing wrong with it. So if she was arrogant, there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah. But but the backlash came from a place of, okay, madam, you finished talking, you didn't do.
Yes, and after everything. Well, the reality is, everybody talks.
Yeah,
and then this whole talk into existence thing, if everybody could get what they had talked about,
wouldn't this world
be a breeze? Like, wouldn't we all love it? But it's not really like that, and we have to be realistic about it.
Sure.
It's unfortunate for her, and I can understand the backlash, because people are like, madam, after all you said, after everything, see, you didn't even come fourth or fifth, you came last. And so that made people like, this is just a human thing.
So I also want to look into the issue of pressure. I think she put a lot of pressure on herself.
It's possible.
And I think, you know, that the talk she was talking was trying to psych herself up.
Yes.
She was probably not prepared for that race, but she was trying to psych herself up for that race.
And then we don't know what's going on with her psychologically.
Exactly.
We don't know what's going on in the background.
She lost a parent.
You see,
you know, she lost a parent. Then she was disqualified from the Olympics. Her peers went for the Olympics, and she's trying to make a comeback. A lot happened.
So you see, for me, look, pressure is part of the game. You know, it was the same with Naomi Osaka when she spoke about the pressure of talking to the press and all that. Look, you're a world champion, or you've become a #1 at this particular time, this particular time. The mental pressure is part of it, a major part. And I don't have any problem with the backlash. You see, when you don't do well, there's a backlash. When you do well, it's both sides. There are two sides of a coin.
So you can enjoy the praises and not be ready for the backlash.
For me, hey, come on, take it on chin. Use it as motivation to step up. You understand? But I want to say something about talking and bringing and, you know, this talking things into existence. There's something called survivorship bias. What you hear, it's the same thing that happens with, in quote, testimonies in church. You hear about people that they said they tried something and it worked. Do you know how many thousands
tried the same?
Yes, and it didn't work out. Yes. So.
And then you have to understand that, look, the way life is from, it's happened with inventions, with almost everything. There is a process of trying until you
trial
get
and
the right
error.
thing. It's how life is built. So when you hear that thing, survivorship bias is that one person, those two people that you hear, but then there's a lot. It's
but
not,
guess what,
every time you
Mike,
see that talk and it comes into existence.
I'm that 1 in a billion. I'm dynamite. I'm a billionaire. I'm going to still keep speaking positivity into my life.
Nobody's doubting positive.
Speak it.
We'll take this break now.
Speak it.
We'll come
it will
right back
come
after
to
this.
pass. Let's go.
All right, it's time for us to have a discussion on health. And today, the focus is on addiction getting help. Now, this is a very big topic. And to do justice to it is Dr. Tiwatayo Lasebikon, who obtained his medical degree at the University of Ibadan, Nigeria, and attended the University of South Wales, United Kingdom, where he bagged his master's degree in business psychology. So, this morning, it's such a pleasure to have you in the studio with us.
Thank you for having me.
Now, that word addiction. Let's first establish what addiction is. Because, you know, there's when we do things too much, and then there's a point where it actually turns to an addiction. So, perhaps you want to establish that for us.
Okay. So you know that most of the times, psychiatric terms or even medical terms are many times English language terms that are then brought into medicine. So many times we use addiction loosely, just like the way we use, you know, anxiety and depression loosely. So, but to a psychiatrist, so we talk about addiction when it gets to a point where somebody has cravings for a particular, you know, substance, and he has no compulsion, a feeling of wanting to use it,
So it has to be a substance?
Well, it has to be...
Medically?
No, not necessarily just a substance, because now, you know, maybe I should, you know, it's an addiction-provoking substance.
Okay.
You know, so it doesn't have to only be the substance addiction. You know, there are different types of addiction, which we'll get to shortly.
Okay.
But there's this craving. Apart from the craving, there's some form of difficulty controlling the use.
Okay.
You know, and there's also now a cycle such that, you know, there's craving, difficulty controlling the use, and when you stop it, you know, you want to resume it again.
Yeah, you feel that urge, that compelling urge to not stop it after all.
Exactly. So some people even stop it briefly, and then before you know it, you're back again using it.
Okay.
So it's that cycle that makes it addiction.
Okay, so before we even talk about, you know, fixing it or getting help for it, let's talk about what type of addictions they actually are.
All right, so, you know, very commonly, the most common ones, of course, alcohol addiction.
Okay.
You know, so some people use alcohol occasionally, but it gets to a point where it becomes an addiction.
Okay.
There is substance use addiction. Sometimes it's problem. So we're talking about marijuana, meth, cocaine, and the rest of them.
Okay.
You know, illicit substances.
So alcohol, substances.
Yes.
Okay.
Then we also have some other the substances. There are also licit substances. That means legal substances one can get addicted to. So like cigarettes, like caffeine, you know, coffee. You know, then people can. There's also gambling addiction. you know, which is also, you know, becoming a big deal.
These days.
These days.
Yes.
You know, there's gaming addiction, social media addiction. There's also pornography addiction to pornography, you know, and, you know, so those are the most common types of addiction.
Okay, so when you've established the fact that someone, or let me use an individual, is addicted to something, how can such a person get help?
All right, so the first thing really is about recognizing the fact that this is beyond me.
This is beyond me.
Yes.
That's massive, okay?
So, for adventure, someone takes, you know, alcohol every now and then.
Okay.
He, you know, goes to parties, you know, takes a drink. And, you know, it's not really affecting him. When he decides I'm not going for a party, it's okay.
Doesn't, yeah,
you know,
doesn't faze
when
him.
he decides that I am, you know, I don't have money to drink at the moment, it's okay. But the point whereby instead of him controlling his drinking habit, the drinking is the one controlling him, such that if he doesn't take the drink in days, you know, he begins to have this irritability, he begins to have some, you know, some symptoms, you know, he's not, you know, he feels like he can't get himself. He has this intense urge, rather, you know, then of course, that's already getting towards a problem.
Okay.
Same thing with, you know, with betting, same thing with any of these things. So first, you have to organize that, okay, instead of me controlling this, this thing is now controlling me. Then, when that happens, you know that, okay, now I need to seek professional help.
Okay.
I need to seek professional help. The important thing, like I said, is recognizing that it's a problem.
Recognizing the problem is the most
It's
important,
the most important
than seeking
thing.
help.
Then
so there's
seeking
no way
help.
you can fix it yourself. You know, last year taught us a lot of things.
Yeah.
The lockdown, the fact that you couldn't access medical care directly, the face-to-face thing. And so many people had to depend on self-help, trying to fix things domestically.
Okay.
Now, in such a situation, how can you actually get that help you need?
All right. So when it is problem drinking, for example,
Okay.
and it's not yet, you know, problem drinking is a group that contains addiction and, you know, some steps before addiction itself.
Okay.
So when we are talking about those other steps that, yes, it's already becoming a problem, but you are not yet addicted per se, then you can help yourself. Are you getting my point? But immediately it gets into addiction. Addiction is a brain disease.
So you
It has
need
affected,
somebody else
at that
to
point,
help
you need somebody else to help you because there's a rewiring process
you. Okay.
that needs to occur, has occurred. And until we unwire it, in a sense, you know, which cannot just happen at home. That's why I see many people say, okay, I've tried for 3 weeks and the person goes back again. You know, I've tried for 2 weeks and the person goes back again. You know, so there's need for that accountability.
Well, you know, so many people actually worry about the cost of getting help. So that's actually very discouraging.
Yeah.
So if one wants to get help but cannot afford it, are there ways one can still get that help within their means?
Okay, so for, you know, because we've grouped addiction, you know, into, we've grouped all of them together, you know, indeed, the kind of help for each substance is very different.
Okay.
So, for example, there are some that are easier to stop than others.
Okay.
Now, somebody who is hooked on cocaine, for example, you know, will find it a lot more difficult to stop than somebody who is hooked on coffee. You know, so that is why it's a bit heterogeneous. However, one thing that could help for, you know, substances that are not very, you know, that are not as maybe intense, maybe I should use that word, you know, as others, you know, is a kind of gradual reduction.
Yeah.
So somebody who smokes 2 cartons of, 2 packs of cigarettes can decide that, all right, so over the next 1 month, I want to reduce these 2 packets to 5 sticks. Okay. So it begins to remove a stick per day.
Till it becomes a thing of the past.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. So that is like the easiest.
I really wish we could talk about this in as broadly as it is. I know there is something else you actually avoided, but because it's morning TV, we won't talk so much about it.
All right.
And it has to do with sexual addiction.
Okay.
However, if we have to put aside sexual addiction, for example, and then talk about even like we hear a lot of songs these days where you hear things like, I'm addicted to you, for example. Is that really addiction or is obsession? Or at what point do you differentiate between it being an addiction and obsession?
All right. So when people say that you're addicted to another individual.
Yes.
All right. So now for us, we know there's a particular type of illness, that is very similar to what you're talking about. That comes with stalking.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
And that is very closely linked to psychosis, rather than addiction. Are you with me?
Okay.
So we don't expect that even when you are in love with someone, so much that love, begins to control you rather than you controlling it.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, being addicted to a person, if it is not stalking, if it's not psychosis, is something that is not really common.
Yeah. Okay, you know what? This is broader than we can imagine, and I really wish the conversation could go on. Unfortunately, it cannot. However, we always have next week to talk about something else. Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Lashe.
Thank you for having me.
And, well, talking about all this addiction, quite a number of us on this set are addicted to good food. So it's a good thing that we get to join Titi in the kitchen right now.
Welcome to the kitchen on Wake Up Nigeria. And on a Tuesday morning, we have a tasty treat coming from the one and only Chef Nike. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So what is Chef Nike making today?
Okay, today we are having a simple homemade burger.
Okay.
Burger or sandwich.
Okay.
It's a kind of something very simple recipe that you can have in your home for your everyday meal.
Okay. So everybody loves burgers.
Yeah.
Everybody loves chicken in burgers. But I can see a lot of lovely ingredients. We need to tell everyone what we have on ground with us. Let's see. Obviously, we have some amazing burger buns here.
Yes.
Right? Which you can find in your local supermarket.
Yes.
Then I can see, what's this?
Breadcrumbs.
Breadcrumbs.
Yes.
We have an egg here. Is it boiled or fresh?
Not fresh.
It's a fresh egg?
Yes.
And we have breadcrumbs there.
Breadcrumbs, black pepper, salt, butter, carrots, onion, red onion, some seasoning cubes. We have some seasoning like dried thyme and curry and all that. Then fresh lettuce, fillet chicken. This is the best because it's boneless, doesn't have fat. It's just perfect for our chicken burger.
Okay, fantastic.
And then all-purpose flour.
So these are readily available items that you can find in your local supermarket.
Yes.
And we're making a burger today. We're making a burger this morning. So what is the first thing I need to do to prepare for my burger?
Okay. You can just start with this. You chop it. Then afterwards, you can as well parboil this. It's soft chicken. You don't really have to overcook it. We could shred it or fry it lightly. All right,
so we need to show them. So I think we should start working with the chicken. Everybody loves it when you work with the chicken.
Yes.
All right, so let's see how you plan to parboil this.
Okay, actually, the recipe is going to be like 2-in-1. I'm going to make the simple one that even children at home and holiday can practice at home. Okay. And then the other one you have where you put all your fresh vegetables and you eat them raw like that in chunks. But fantastic. The first one, you could just divide this into two. All right, let's... This is fillet chicken, sorry. Okay. Like so, boneless. It's boneless easier. Chicken? Yes.
The chicken breast?
Chicken breast.
Okay.
So you call it fillets, chicken fillets. So we divide this into two. So we'll be frying this. And then this will be, shredded after boiling. Okay. So for this, we'll be frying this.
Will we be adding anything to the water when we boil
it up. Okay. Like you had little seasoning, red onion, and then salt to taste.
Beautiful. All right, let's give them the ingredients, list of ingredients on the screen there, so that people at home can also try and make this. Burger with vegetables and shredded chicken filling. We have, of course, ketchup, cabbage, mayo, salted butter. We have the chicken fillet itself, fresh lettuce, and crispy onions. So you want to make onion rings?
Yes.
Oh, onion rings.
I'll make it crispy.
Fantastic. So I can also see you have breadcrumbs here. So I guess that's for the onion rings.
Yes, yes.
And of course the pepper, salt, and all-purpose flour. Just so you know, you can make this at home. Just make sure you watch attentively as Chef Nike takes over our kitchen for this morning. We're going to be taking a quick break at this point. Wake Up Nigeria continues after this.
All right, it's time for entertainment news Tuesday morning, and well, let's get into the thick of things. So making her debut on the show, entertainment reporter and enthusiast, Zay. How you doing, Zainab?
I'm good.
I like your dress. You're looking very lovely, and your hair.
Thank you.
What channeling with the hair? Who's...
Me.
What are you channeling? You're channeling you?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. So let's get straight to it. We have some news for people now. Toby Bakre and Anu Oladosu, of course, a reality star Toby, and his fiancée had their engagement ceremony and also wedding. The couple used the occasion to reveal that they're expecting their first child together.
Yes.
I mean, this is Toby, a guy a lot of girls love. Maybe they were heartbroken, right?
Yeah, they were. I mean, I'm part of them. So.
You were heartbroken. Tell me.
I love Toby.
Tell me. Okay.
Looking from how we started from Big Brother Niger house and the whole saga with CC, Alex, then he came out of the house. He was doing his thing. He ventured into photography, did a couple of things. I mean, I was surprised that he got married this year because I thought he was still going to have time to do what he wanted to do for a while before he would get hitched. But hey.
It is what it is.
It is what it is.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yes.
All right, kudos and, of course, congrats to him.
Congrats to him,
and his wife. All right, so this is one that number people have been talking about. There was a video that was online. Tiwa Savage and Brandy, and they were sampling. It was a lot of people love it. But then, hey, come on. This, of course, preceded that particular video. She released her new body of work, Water and Gary. When last did I saw Gary? I'm still trying to think now. The 5-track project features appearances from an international cast including Nas, Brandy, Amare, Taiwa, and Rich King. It's a 5-track EP. It's a follow-up to the award-winning singer's hit 2020 album, Celia. So that's the video of herself and Brandy. Can we feel it a bit? Did she go away to cry or something?
Like, you know what it is to actually feel your own music?
She should cry there now. Why did she have to step out to cry?
I mean, she was feeling her own music. You can't blame her, Mike.
Cry where you're feeling the music. No,
really?
Cry where you're feeling the music.
It was just too much emotions for her, really.
Okay.
It was just a roller coaster of emotions.
And then being, of course, on the same track or having Brandy with her also.
And what I really like about her is her braveness, combining different genres now, from Afro-beats to pop to soul. I mean, everything. All in all, it's so nice to see Tiwa Savage pull that off because, I mean, it's just few artists in this country that can actually pull something like that off. So, I mean, it's beautiful.
She also had Pharrell
on it, and Pharrell actually called it a classic.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Let's hear him say that.
From the bottom of his heart.
So I think the music industry has done very well. I mean, look at Tiwa Savage. Prior to this time, of course, it was twice as tall with Burna Boy that had PDD executive producing and a lot of other people, and the acceptance for our music is massive.
Overwhelming, really, because now you see most celebrities on Instagram now. I mean, foreign celebrities, they're jamming Nigerian music in their homes. I mean, what can be more wonderful than that?
It is.
To have us out there, apart from what we're known for.
I'm looking forward to the day maybe someone like Tom Hanks will be like, Jim Ike, that was a classic.
That was a classic.
Wouldn't that be lovely?
That day will come, don't worry. It will come. It will come.
Okay, all right. I'm looking forward to that day. And of course, Ariana Grande is in the news. She shares a glimpse of life with her husband, now Dalton Gomez. 3 months after they tied a knot, 28-year-old singer married the LA estate agent in May. And well, I always feel like Ariana Grande is 15.
Yeah.
Now, of course, she posted a number of photos on her Instagram page depicting domestic life with Mr. Gomez.
Mr. Gomez, yes. For Ariana Grande, she's had a lot of people she's dated who have been in the public eye. A lot of celebrities.
Okay.
From
lots. And she still looks like 15.
Yeah, she's dated quite. I mean, she dated Big Sean. Okay. She dated Pete Davidson, the SNL comic actor. I don't know if you know him. She's dated quite a lot of them. But now we didn't even know that she had this new relationship until she posted some pictures earlier this year. So sometimes I just feel like the people you're actually going to meet or you're going to end up with might probably not be in your circle. So that is one thing I just noticed about her, because it just felt like she was trying so hard to date people from my own circle.
From my own circle.
And it just never worked out.
Doesn't this put some sort of pressure on the relationship?
How? Because I don't think it does.
Like you said, she has been with people in the public eye. You know. Shouldn't she just continue keeping it to herself?
I mean, she just shared pictures.
Choice, yeah?
That was just it. It's whatever she wants you to know at this point that you actually know about her relationship.
People not target that guy, but hey, come on.
No.
All the best to her, right?
All the best.
I still feel she's 15.
Yeah, me
Thank
too.
you, Zainab. Thank you,
You're
Zainab.
welcome.
It was great having you on the show.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so that's it. That's the scoop on entertainment. Of course, we have to head over to Titi and check out what Titi has been doing. Titi.
Now, there's a song from Ariana Grande that I would really love to hear, though.
Which one is that?
Oh, gosh. We are going to watch it right now. Huh? Woo! Yeah, Ariana Grande as a president there. That's such a great video. Such a great, great video. And a great way for us to segue into the kitchen. We have Chef Nike here, and she's been hard at work getting set for our burger. So we're having burgers and onion rings this morning for breakfast. And she started the process of making the onion rings. So I'm not sure if onion rings is something a lot of people are familiar with, but if I am not wrong, it's a crispy snack, right?
Yes, yes.
All right. So what's the first thing we need for onion rings?
Okay, we prepare our batter.
Okay.
Using all-purpose flour. Hide your spices.
What do you want?
Get my spoon.
Okay, sure. There's a spoon right here.
Okay. I'm just trying to measure it, but then
okay.
You had your
spices.
Pepper.
Yeah.
Salt, like about half teaspoon.
Okay.
And a little bit of this.
That mixed spice?
Yes.
Okay.
Mix them together. You had your milk. Oh, my milk I've not prepared.
You've not brought the milk out?
A little bit of...
so powdered milk, any powdered milk or what?
Yes,
okay.
Or liquid.
Okay.
A little bit of baking powder.
Okay.
Okay.
These are all like half a teaspoon, half a teaspoon.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
So mix them. Then you have water. You can add your melted margarine or you have your margarine. Let me melt a little.
Into the pan?
Yes.
Okay.
I need to put up this.
So you want to reduce that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Margarine, there you go.
Just melt some. A little you add it to it.
All right, so the butter goes straight into the pan.
Yes.
But so for the onion rings, are we looking to deep fry or
No,
shallow fry them in butter?
Yes.
So now we've added the spices to the flour.
So we'll add half cup of water.
Half a cup of water. Let me see if I can help
milk. There's a cup in there.
Oh, fantastic. I got you.
Half cup.
All right. So we'll add some water, and then after that, we stir it.
Measure this.
Can I do the water part?
Yes.
I can?
Yes.
All right.
Half cup of water.
Okay. So
measure it with this.
So your specifics of half a cup have to be perfect, yes?
Yes.
All right.
So our butter is all ready. So
okay.
Just allow it to cool a little.
That half a cup.
And mix it together.
All right. So one more time, the ingredients are going to be on your screen right now. We're making burgers and onion rings. If you want to make it at home, you can try it as well. Just get some cabbage, mayonnaise, salted butter, chicken fillet, fresh lettuce, ketchup, and crispy onion rings. Now, you can make these onion rings by getting some all-purpose flour, some baking powder, some spices, talking about pepper, salt, and some mixed spice, and half a cup of water. That's what we've added to this.
Liquid milk.
Liquid milk.
Yes,
all right.
To make it.
All right. So I'm going to find a sachet of milk to mix on your behalf, so that you can get to it. But meanwhile, you're focusing on the melted butter, yes?
Okay.
So how much milk am I mixing?
It's like half a cup.
Half a cup. Another half a cup. All right. Fantastic. So I'm just going to put the powdered milk into it, like that. So I think you're going to have to mix that. Maybe you can use the butter knife to mix it in. Yeah, beautiful. All right. So onion rings, they're not supposed to be sweet. right? There's no sugar added to this.
No.
Okay, so it's more of savory than sweet.
Yes.
All right.
That's already.
So you want it to be thick, you don't want it to be...
No, not watery.
Watery at all.
Yes.
Okay. So as soon as we wrap our onions in this batter, next thing we do...
We have egg wash. Sorry, we need to break the egg now.
Okay, well, we have to rush off now to another quick break. But what we're going to do next is we're going to wrap the batter over the onions and shallow fry them.
Then breadcrumbs, then we'll fry.
Oh, fantastic. Well, you're going to see the results. Make sure you're trying this at home as well. Use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC to show us what you're up to. And we'll see if we got it right at home. I'll be taking a quick break now. Stay with us. All right.
It's the second lap of the show. And, of course, you're welcome once again to Premium Family Breakfast Show.
And trust us, we're picking things up a notch in the second hour. Welcome to the second half of the show. And right now, you're allowed to, you know, move and make yourself a cup of maybe tea, coffee, whatever works for you, as it's going to be a non-stop 45 minutes of the choicest content on Breakfast TV.
Definitely just get whatever works for you. And, of course, if you need some stuff in the kitchen, right? Burger. What type of burger is that?
Chicken burger.
Chicken burger. What part of the chicken has been used?
Oh, wow, Mike. Really? You want me,
Mike,
just want me to say that word?
No, seriously.
Mary, you know the word he's talking about.
I know, he's talking about chicken breast. Mike, you need to get here in life. Seriously.
I asked an honest question, and you're taking it out on me. You see why you people are stifling?
Stifling what?
You're stifling media.
Oh, wow.
Stifling media. Seriously. Mike, you will still kneel down, raise up your hand and close your eyes there.
The search for knowledge, that's what you're stifling.
So his name, in case you're wondering and you want to slam him on social media, is Mike Mesikeno. And my name is Titilayo Oyinson. Remember, you can stream the show live if you have to move around. It's tvcentertainment.tv.
Of course, you can also connect with us on social media. Use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. And also an app, you can download it on the Apple and iOS store to watch us anywhere around the world. Okay, so we have parenting coming up.
Yes, we do.
And then, of course, we have parenting. We're talking about homeschooling with Olabisi Oni. Now, that's something that everybody would want to or can learn something from.
And joining us on the couch for an interesting conversation is top Nigerian music producer Solomon Oyeni, popularly known as KSolo. He's been in the industry for almost 2 decades now, produced award-winning songs for the likes of Paul Play Dairo, Sonny Neji, Timaya, so many greats.
So I'm just wondering, Mike, were you ever homeschooled?
Homeschooled?
Yeah.
So when you say homeschooled, I feel like there's a lot that we do now. Yes, to an extent, because I feel like play is also part of schooling. Having people play, and that's something that a lot of parents, because of the age that we're in, when you have both parents working, and so, like I mentioned that time, that people send kids to summer or vacation class because they don't have the time to teach. So, so that time it was easier to homeschool than now, or more parents homeschool then than now. So if it comes to the area of recreational schooling, yes.
Because I've observed some schools do something now.
Yeah.
Because of last year, when parents had to teach their children, especially, you know, the online classes and also the school more or less just send materials, the parents have to put their children through. It's now become a habit for many teachers. So they'll just give you an assignment and they'll say, at least you have parents at home that will teach you. Yeah. And so I find it's really worrisome. Like, you might as well just stay at home and teach your children.
So proper homeschooling involves a syllabus, a timetable, different subjects throughout the week, different materials being given to that child, and it takes dedication. It's something that you can't just decide to do like this. You have to plan it. But the issue is people have just resorted to using maybe YouTube or videos or, you know, things that are not really human involved. You know, they try not to be involved in the schooling at home anymore, which is what Mike was trying to talk about.
Well, at least we'll have the experts talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes,
okay.
we will.
All right, let's take a break now and then we'll be back with the news.
We are here for another news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria, and we begin this way. The National Industrial Court of Nigeria has ordered the striking members of the Nigerian Association of Resident Doctors to resume work immediately. The order was made following an ex parte motion filed last Friday by the Federal Ministry of Health. The motion sought for an order of interlocutory injunction restraining members of NARD from further continuing the industrial action they embarked upon on the 2nd of August 2021. Ruling on the motion, the presiding judge, Justice J.I. Tagema, ordered all members of NARD to resume work immediately and adjourned the matter till the 15th of September 2021. In his reaction, the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige, described the court ruling as a welcome development. He reassured the affected doctors that the ruling would not prevent the implementation of agreements contained in the Memorandum of Understanding reached at the last meeting with the Nigerian Medical Association and affiliate associations with timelines affixed to them. The NMA had led 3 doctors' associations to the negotiation that lasted several hours on Friday after a series of negotiations between the government and doctors had failed. A Rivers State High Court has issued an interim injunction restraining Uche Secondus from parading himself as the national chairman and member of the People's Democratic Party. Justice Gbasam of Degema Judicial Division Vacation Court, sitting in Port Harcourt, granted the order on Monday. The court order also restrains him from presiding over any meeting of the PDP or calling for any ward, local government, or state congresses of the party, as well as setting up committees for such congresses. He is also barred from participating in any activity of the party or whilst on suspension as a member of the party pending the hearing and determination of the motion on notice for interlocutory injunction. Let's talk security, beginning in Zamfara State, where gunmen have killed at least 8 persons and abducted over 50 in Goran Namaye town, Maradun local government area. The state police public relations officer, Muhammad Shehu, said the bandits stormed the community in large numbers on Sunday night, shooting sporadically and whisked away many. Tactical troops of the command have been deployed to the area to conduct search and rescue operations for the victims. Police authorities are appealing for calm as the command is working with other security agencies to maintain law and order in the area. And that's how we wrap it up on the news update right here on Wake Up Nigeria. We have sports coming by next.
All right, it's time for us to talk parenting. And today the focus is on something really interesting, homeschooling. Now, for justice to be done to this, we have Olabisi Oni. She is the CEO of Luxury Bridal Errands and founder of Value Added Parenting. You think tax will follow it? No, it's parenting. Thank you so much for being with us on the show this morning. Okay, so when we talk about homeschooling, you know, many parents are thinking to themselves, not again, because not so many people have gotten over the whole lockdown, schooling and all. So I'm actually curious as to what angle of this homeschooling you're coming from.
Okay, actually, a lot of parents have asked me, like, I don't know how to teach. What do you want me to teach these children? So I feel like this type of homeschooling is not the continuation of mathematics.
It isn't?
It's not continuation of mathematics or English. Okay. It's about the things that are not in the school curriculum. Because teachers are not going to help you. This is about morals. Teaching your children relational skills, how to relate with people. For example, how do you relate with your maid at home? Because your children are actually watching. Because a lot of parents, you want to leave wealth for your children, you want to leave company for your children. There are some things that school will not teach your children. And we've seen a lot of cases whereby the company you leave for some children, they squander it or they sell it or something happen due to lack of relational skills, money management, people's management. So these are the things parents need to take notes. Okay, for instance, when my son was close to 2 years, because he was so smart, he was talking, I told him to go and get water. I wanted to feed him, and he said, Mom, send Auntie Seki now. That's what she usually does, you know. She takes water for me. She does this for me. I was like, what do you mean? She's not your maid. she was doing those things before because you couldn't do it, but now you can do those things. So you better get it yourself.
Okay, so I can understand the angle of homeschooling you are coming from. Because when you talk homeschooling, the first thing that comes to anybody's mind is the educational aspect. So now you're talking about, yes, educational, but not school curriculum, but domestic things, especially well-being and, you know, the moral values of a child, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so another thing is, you know, during the lockdown, we were home and my husband just came to the kitchen to help me out. And my son was like, Dad, I thought kitchen or cooking is for women. I was
Your
like,
2-year-old, or he was
now
older?
4.
He was 4. As at that time, he was 4.
Yes.
And he said, and he believes that at 4 years old.
Yes, because the father normally come home late and he doesn't help in the kitchen because he's not always at home. So he was surprised that, Dad, I thought kitchen things is for mommy and all that. My husband said, no, it is not. That because I wasn't home, that's why. But now that we are home, I have to help mom in the kitchen. You know, that kind of a thing. Children, they know how to, you know, conclude things in their hearts that this is the way it's always been. And that's why we pay attention to girls alone. We want to train girls how to be homely, how to be responsible as a wife, how to be good in the kitchen. But what about the boy? That's why we have some, I'm so sorry to say this, you know, some married men that are, you know, not useful, sorry. All they know how to do is to drop money. But our action, the way we relate with our spouses at home, the way you talk to your wife, you are actually communicating things to your children. The way you relate with people, the way you talk to people, the way you talk to your spouse, you talk to even the children, they are learning so much. And that's why parents, we really have to be intentional. We need to be conscious. We need to be present. Sometimes we need to think before we do things. Children don't do what we say alone. They do what we do. So, okay, there was a time, it was during the lockdown. I told them we don't drink cold water in this house. And I went to the fridge, I took water, and I was going to my room. My son, quietly,
and he's watching you.
My son be like, Mom, what is that in your hand? I even said water. It was like water, cold water. You told us not to drink water, cold water. Why are you with cold water? You know? If it were to be normal African parent, be like, shut up. No.
What do you mean?
Because I'm an intentional parent. I said, I'm sorry. I just feel like taking this cold water. Please forgive me. Because that shows that we are equal in this house. It's not that someone is above the law and all that. So our action actually speak a lot. We have a lot of children that are selling their parents' properties now. It's because you send them to the best school. But the normal thing you are supposed to train them, that the school will not help you. You are not doing it. You are not present. You are not there.
You know what, Olabisi? We know we have mathematics, we have English, we have social studies and the rest for a normal school curriculum, right?
Yes.
Let's hear your own curriculum for the homeschooling. Okay. Let's hear it. So what are those things that are the most important, the basic things that parents should teach their children? So, okay, let's get started.
Morals. You have to teach your children moral respect.
Okay. So that's one thing in the curriculum. Take notes.
Morals, respect, money management.
Morals, respect, money management.
Most children think you plug money from the tree.
Yes, that tree outside.
Yeah, they demand for anything. So when they ask, we work for this money, uncle. So it's not everything you are. I know you want to give them the best of everything. You don't want them to lack anything. But at the same time, you still have to let them know. If you have chances, take them to your workplace. Let them know this is where I work and I make money from this. So money management. Okay. That way, they will learn how to save. Okay. You know? So you teach them respect. Respect is reciprocal. So you respect them
as well.
You treat them like a king that they are. With that, when they go out, they will be able to respect others. You know, you teach them about generosity, kindness. Okay, like a few days ago, I taught my children about sharing. Okay. I didn't stop at, I had to do practical. I didn't stop at the theory. So I asked him, okay, what would you like to give your teacher? Because they go for summer. Okay. And he said, okay, Mom, I would like to give my teacher something. I said, go and check the fridge. And he was able to bring out Ribena or one soft drink like that. I said, okay, you can give your teacher. That is practical. It's not about theory alone. Okay. We make it practical. So things like that, and they watch what you do, how you communicate. As in, even if you want to do some things, just think that, okay, these children are here. I want them to learn.
Do what, you know, most parents will say, do what I say, not what I do. You should start doing what you say so that they too can imbibe it.
Yes.
Okay, so we have morals, we have respect, we have money management, we have your representation as well as generosity. So you can create your own curriculum from there. Perhaps it comes with some rewards at the end of the day. So instead of marks, you probably give gifts for Christmas and all. Now I understand the concept of Santa better. Thank you so much for your time, Olabisi.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. Such a pleasure. All right, we will take this break, and of course, we'll be back shortly. Wake Up Nigeria continues in a bit.
Hey, loving it. And we're finally joined by top Nigerian music producer, Solomon Oyemi, popularly known as KSolo.
Yep, he's been in the industry for over 2 decades. A veteran producer, produced award-winning songs all across. I always love talking to people like this because I get to talk about evolution. It's great to have you, KSolo. You are welcome to the show.
Thank you, thank you.
He's a friend of the house. He's always around.
Yes,
He's always available when we need him. Great to have you.
Very much.
KSolo, a lot has been happening. While
last time I came, I had no gold in my hand.
Is it midlife crisis? Some people say midlife crisis.
No, I mean,
Mike.
we just want to, you know, we're having different mental.
Are you mentioning mental health? Wow.
Let's just try and okay. But you see, we'll talk on mental health here. But there's something I wanted to mention. We just saw Tiwa Savage release, you know, her EP and all of that. We saw her release that EP, and the acceptance for Afro-beats is
abroad.
When you started, 20 years back, did you ever think it would get to this point?
I knew it was going to get to this point.
You knew?
Yes.
Really?
How so?
I knew because, you know, at that point, we had lesser producers, and the few producers were friends. When A is working in the studio, I am probably in the studio with you too, also trying like, I know that is not sounding well. You know, like when I'm working with Cobham, so I tell them like, I mean, no, can you hear that stuff? Then tune it up a little.
Yeah.
There was that love. We had the ideology of taking our industry to the next level.
Yeah.
It was not a competition then. You understand? It was all about just making sure that any sound from Nigeria, it's the limelight. You get what I'm saying? So that's been the ideology we had. So we already had the idea that we were going to go that far. And true, we had one competition then. It was Ghana. Ghana had crystal clear mix.
Okay.
So we're always fighting that our mix must sound banging than theirs at that time. You know, so by the end of the day, we've been able to win all these battles and get to this point. So it's a major.
It's amazing.
I find it really interesting that artists from abroad are actually trying to jump on our songs.
You are saying that,
as
but
opposed to
I
us.
feel bad on the other way.
Why?
You know,
as opposed
because
to
you know, I was talking to my wife yesterday night, and I was like, you know that. See why? I'm sorry, I'm not disrespect to every female artist. Where Wizkid is where Tiwa is supposed to be in the female.
True.
You know, and if the Kardashian can do a video or vibing on Wizkid's song, and it can be on everybody's posts, not stories. You know, Brandy. If Brandy vibes to John Legend or vibes to John Legend, will carry it on his head.
Of course.
That's a Brandy.
True.
So a Brandy is messing with a Ninja, and
it's like
nobody's
jumping on it. It's not on our post. What's the problem? And I think it's that time Nigerian fan base begin to love us.
Appreciate
celebrities,
us.
Celebrate what we bring on the table, not our personality.
Yeah.
How so? Break it down. What do you mean by that?
Okay, because, you know, I feel a lot of people, you know, some people come up and say, Tiwa did this to me one time, this to me. You need to let that out of your head. She's a raw gold. She's our own diamond here, whereby we should celebrate what she brings on the table, which is the content, and sending us in a positive light to the world. Not looking at it like, Tiwa, I saw her, she's not me.
Is that what I was saying? She's not my friend.
A lot is happening in her head. You understand? So we need to get to the point that we need to love our celebrities for what they bring on the table, not for the personality.
There are many international celebrities who are loved for just the craft. Like, think of Amy Winehouse now. With all the issues she had, Whitney Houston, with all the issues she had, people still celebrated them for their craft.
A lot of people open their mouth and say, Michael Jackson cut this, you fixed this. But the
music,
it's the music, right?
It's God pop.
Yeah.
This has made me think now. I'm starting to think about,
I think
because
we need to do that
it's the same thing. Like I've always mentioned about Burna Boy. Look, not everybody. You don't have to like his antics.
I don't like his attitude too.
Yes, you don't have to like his antics. But man, that album before it went everywhere.
Love him for that.
It's amazing because if you hear him sing live, it's as if you're hearing the CD or the audio or the MP3 or whatever you want to use now. But I have to talk about the fact that when you're creating these beats, have you ever visualized where it's going to go to? Or do you just make it for the love of it?
First, we'll start for the love of it. But the love is also attributed to the fact that you want your sound to actually remain for a long time.
Okay.
Not what you want to do right now and people will just dance to, and in less than two months, even the artist is afraid, is trying to get back in the studio. But when you do some sound, when we do sound, like when I do sound, I have this orientation whereby this song you played for me, I didn't push it. It was the love of doing song. But you can listen to this song. This song is 5 years old, and it still sounds like what you had yesterday night. You get what I'm saying? That's the ideology we have. So every time you do evergreen songs, that's what is always in the head.
So who are those evergreen artists you believe? Who are your top 3 right now?
Whiskey is evergreen.
Okay.
Tiwa is beginning to be evergreen. At the point she was losing it out because I felt, you know, you've created a niche for yourself. You want to jump on street songs. You don't need it at all. Somebody who's another evergreen is Asha. She will leave your industry and leave you and go and sleep in France for 2 years and come back and still sell out your shows.
Yeah.
KSolo, I wish in 1 hour we'll talk so much. But KSolo, you have plans. You said you're working on a master class.
Yes, I'm doing
Let's talk about that.
Yes, I'm doing a master class. You know, I found that, you know, as much as a lot of us have traveled outside the country and we've learned a lot, I think it's best to always give it back to where we belong to. And part of what I've studied is only in Nigeria we watch the TV and we're watching with our remotes in our hands because we have problems with understanding audio sounds, and you know, a lot of people work on the TV because their brother is a friend, one knows one, you know, HM in house, and they just bring them in, you know.
Not because of talent.
Not because of the talent, not because they actually study to know these things. So, but there's an opportunity right now. I'm just going to do it, not for radio alone, TV, the movies too. You know, whereby you can understand how to balance sound, voice audios, and also soundtracks.
Yes.
It's a lot. It makes you chill, and you like, when you're done with the movie and you're looking at yourself, I never touched this remote to throughout.
But it's up and down and all of that.
Yes.
Is this going to be free? How do people access it?
It's free. It's free. It's free. But the only thing is for the early birds, though, because I'm having limited. I'm also trying to make it virtual, whereby people can also join online.
Online and all of that.
Amazing.
So,
amazing.
of course, on your social media pages, that's how we can get all of that.
Yes.
Talk about social media. Did you say something? You want to mention it?
Oh, yes. You mentioned something about a man finding a wife is a good thing, right?
Yes,
you said that they should build themselves before, you know, finding a woman.
And let's bring a little bit of the mental health, you know, into this
touch on
discussion.
that.
This is after 2020, crazy year.
Everybody's mad in Nigeria right now. Nobody's normal.
Okay.
So what I just say is, let me first talk about that. I tell a lot of guys that, you know, enough of people dragging you on social media and calling you names and all that. But if you don't have, it's not, I'm sorry to say, like I say, it's not compulsory to be married. You understand? It's not compulsory. There's nowhere it is written that this is what you must. You get what I'm saying? So instead of bringing those kids to this world and make them go through the trauma and all that, today divorce, tomorrow this and that, if you're not prepared for it, you know when a woman wants it. You know when we are in this together. Understanding that, oh, this man is not complete. I am not complete. So two incomplete people come together.
Cannot make it complete.
You get what I'm saying? So that's the point. So we need to get this fact right. So when I typed that, I like, guys should stop this. Make money now. Take care of yourself. Bro, when last have you been to ICU in Keja? You know, the number of young men that die is even more than the older ones. You see from 40, 50, like that 30. You know, this one, I'm surprised seeing a 35 stroke. I'm like, what's wrong with you thinking? Because you want so much money and you want to please people. You want to impress the world.
One way you can relieve that pressure is by listening to some great music, and we have some great music from KSolo coming your way up next. All right, then. Now, the Wake Up Nigeria kitchen has been abuzz with some great food cooking here. Chef Nika is our first time on the show, and she's done such a great job. You know, some people just don't know how to get it done, but she got it done. These are some amazing looking burgers. So we have some chicken in there. We have lettuce. We have, what else do we have in there? We have some really nice spices and onion rings.
Every time I come to your show, why am I always fasting?
Why? How are you fasting? You're not fasting.
But today I'll break the fast.
Please, you better break that fast, too. I need you to take one of those and just take a bite. Take a nice bite. Grab this burger.
Okay, let me see this.
Take a bite, All right. All right.
What did I start from?
So bad. It's huge, right?
I tell you.
Omo. Let's go.
So what do you think? This one money.
No be small. We have had
Chef
a great
Nike.
time with you, Chef Nike. Thank you so much for joining
Chef
us.
Nike.
We have Mary and Mike on the couch. Any words of wisdom today, Mike?
So, it is said that you should not bite more than you can chew. But if you see that you are plenty, I want to eat that food, Ogbeni, bite more. You treat later.
Let's ignore and pretend we didn't hear that because Mike can be very dramatic.
You would not get the finish of it. If there are people plenty.
Enjoy your meal.
Enjoy the meal, please, KSolo. But really, I think we need to start tweeting these Mike's words of wisdom. This can become a thing. We can sell this. KSolo, thank you so much. And well done on the masterclass. Much love and congratulations.
Chef Nike.
Thank you.
Thanks for
to everyone out there, we're going to be back tomorrow, 7 a.m., everybody. It's all about the ladies tomorrow. Bye.